I'll be talking today about the left's biggest political streamer, named Hasan Piker. And I'll be talking about how his audience is perfectly fine with him when he called for the assassination of U.S. senators,
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
or when he calls for America's streets to run red with capitalist blood.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
Or when he routinely calls for the killing of Republicans.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man? Slice them up. Slice them and fucking dice them. What the fuck is this?
Or when he said that America deserved the 9/11 attack.
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
He's happy those 3,000 Americans died. Or when he justifies the October 7th attack on an Israeli music festival by Hamas, who murdered 1,200 Israelis and kidnapped 251 more. Or when he justifies the raping and killing of Israeli teenage girls and the beheading and dismembering of babies and children.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
His audience loved all that, but his audience turned on him when it became obvious that he was abusing his dog. Now, who is Hasan Piker? Well, Hasan Piker has millions of followers. He earns an estimated $3 million per year from his live streams. He's America's biggest leftist political streamer. He might be the biggest political streamer in America, period. He's an outspoken communist and promoter of terrorism, and he's an outspoken hater of America. He literally has terrorists from the Middle East as guests on his show. He lives in a $3 million mansion in Beverly Hills and drives a $200,000 Porsche Taycan. He's also an immigrant from Turkey. Yeah, he was born in New Jersey when his parents were here briefly, but he was raised in Turkey. Then he came back to America for college. First, he attended the University of Miami, then transferred to Rutgers, and he was granted birthright U.S. citizenship. And he live streams for 6 to 10 hours every day. And this is going to be a deep dive video into the twisted mind of Hasan Piker, but also how he's been the golden boy for the legacy American news media, the propaganda news, and for big segments of today's Democrat Party. And then we're going to get into how he destroyed his own career, literally self-immolated right there on his live stream due to his abuse and torture of his dog right there on video. It turns out that he was using an electric shock dog collar on his dog Kaya to force her to sit still there in the video frame for hours on end. If she did not remain perfectly still the entire time, if she ever tried to move out of the video frame, he would push the shock button. And this would cause Kaya to yelp, to scream out in pain.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop.
Kaya is a prop for Hasan's live stream. Since he was always calling for the killing of Republicans and Jews, he needed to find some way to communicate that he's actually not a bad guy, needed something to soften his image. And so he came up with Kaya the dog, who would always be there in the video frame. And then everybody would think, oh, isn't that sweet? Isn't that nice? Hasan must love dogs. So he can't be that bad a guy. But let's watch Hasan zap Kaya when she gets up, tries to stretch her legs and move out of the video frame. And Hasan reaches over for the zapper button, for the electric shock button, so he can shock her, so he can electrocute her. And she yelps, she screams, and she quickly returns to her spot. And the entire internet noticed this. A dog doesn't just yelp out of nowhere and then quickly return to her assigned spot obediently, unless something has happened. When all the negative comments started pouring in, Hasan tried to deny that he was using an electric shocker on the dog. tried to deny that he was using an electric shock dog collar. But the proof rolled in. And internet sleuths out there started uncovering all kinds of evidence that this indeed is an electric shock dog collar. And then the internet started unearthing all kinds of old clips of Hasan and how he had been abusing a previous dog that he owned.
Stay. If you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? In front of everyone. Motherfucker, come here.
Motherfucker, come here.
And now Hasan is the most famous dog abuser since Michael Vick, the famed quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, who spent 2 years in prison for running a dog-fighting betting operation. And so now we know that Kaya, Hasan's female dog, was just a prop, who we now know is being tortured the entire time, all these years, by Hasan with this electric dog collar, being forced to sit there for hours and hours without moving. So Hasan's audience is now turned against Hasan, which has caused Hasan to have this epic meltdown.
I can't stand any of you dumb fucks in this goddamn chat. Oh my fucking God, I hate the left. I hate liberalism. I hate everything that's going on every single fucking day of the goddamn week. I hate my life. I hate fucking streaming. I hate socialism. Oh God.
I hate this fucking country so much.
Now there's a lot more to this dog story that we'll get into in a bit, especially all of Hasan's lies. But this story is best if we get the full context of who Hasan Piker is. How he was the golden boy for the New York Times, the propaganda media, and the Democrat Party until this dog abuse story hit. Hasan's many lies are what did him in, layer after layer of lies. But before we get into all of that, who is Hasan Piker? Because the more you know about him, the less you're going to like him. Now, the dog abuse is bad enough. Terrible, awful, horrific. But there are actually many things that are worse, a lot worse, about Hasan. Then we'll pile on the dog abuse story and all his lies surrounding that, which is what really turned his audience against him. And I just had to work these clips in. It also appears that Hasan admits to engaging in bestiality. That's right, has sex with animals. At least that's how I interpret his statements. I told you this is a deep dive video on Hasan Piker. I don't think you've seen these clips anywhere. But I have them for you here. Yes, I do. Here's the first clip. Hasan defending having sex with animals.
Oh, you know what? Fucking dogs is actually good, and it's actually great. I want to fuck dogs. My dog likes to get fucked.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
My dog
I'm out of control.
is a big fan of getting fucked, whatever. And enough people decide that fucking dogs is actually a good thing. What I'm trying to say is that at that point, we're giving the freedom to fuck dogs to people who want to fuck dogs under that communist utopia.
Then we have this clip here. You tell me what you think he's saying.
Guys, I love sex, okay? I fucking love sex, dude. And I think it's one of the best things you can do on this planet. And I love to do it with humans, dude. Nothing substitutes, dude.
He says that nothing he's had sex with can substitute sex with a human. Huh. Let's hear that again.
And I love to do it with humans, dude. Nothing substitutes, dude.
What's he even saying here? Whoa. Now it also turns out that Hasan Piker is a nephew of Cenk Uygur, who has also defended bestiality on his video streams. Let's see what Cenk has to say. Hasan's uncle.
I believe that if I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are giving, where you are pleasuring the animal. You see what I'm saying?
I don't even know what to say to this. And look at the look on Anna Kasparian's face as she listens to this. She's his co-host. Let's see that again.
I believe that if I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are giving, where you are pleasuring the animal. You see what I'm saying?
Cenk or Shank or Uyghur or Uyghur, I have no idea how you say his name, is also an immigrant from Turkey. and he hosts a left-wing show called The Young Turks. Now, Shank or Sank or Uyghur or Uyghur, he's not nearly as radical as Hasan, and Hasan used to work on the Young Turks show before he started his own show. But what is it with these Turks and bestiality? So I looked up Turkey and bestiality on Grok. Wanted to find out, is bestiality, having sex with animals, something that's sort of considered normal in Turkey? Well, it turns out that bestiality was decriminalized in Turkey in 1926 under Ataturk. Remember, until Ataturk formed Turkey, Turkey was under the rule of the Ottoman Empire, was under the rule of the Europeans. And Ataturk was the first leader of Turkey, this new country that was formed after World War I. And when Ataturk took over, bestiality was decriminalized in Turkey and remains decriminalized in Turkey to this day. Wow! Apparently they like to have sex with dogs, with goats, with horses, and animals over there in Turkey. And this is the culture that we're allowing into America. People who like to have sex with goats, dogs, horses, sheep, and who knows what else, chickens. Here Hasan talks favorably about committing sexual violence against toddlers. He seems to like the idea.
Back again next week when we discuss the legendary question of all time, old enough to count, old enough to mount, question mark?
We can only presume that he's engaged in some of this. Beyond disgusting, far beyond disgusting. I have no words. Here he boasts about his predatory behavior.
You might think, wait a minute, there's no way this is going to work. Yes, it does. Let's get out of here. It's time to get out of there, and it's time to separate her from her herd, meaning her crowd of girlfriends that are going to do their best to cock-block you because they're fat and lonely.
Hasan Piker has zero respect for women, and we'll see that throughout this video. And when the New York Times is doing their big puff piece profile on Hasan, they wanted to take a photo of his streaming setup. And they just happened to catch a photo of the chat stream on Hasan's computer. And the chat was about raping women to death. He boasted about going to a brothel in Germany that was raided by more than 900 police for sex trafficking, including of dependent girls.
By the way, the brothel thing is crazy because he openly admitted that he knows. You know, let's pull it up on stream, what I know. I think we should. This is the brothel. There we go. Hell's Angel brothel raided by 900 officers, say the German police. This is where Hasan said that he had sex with a prostitute, as authorities allege that women were exploited and possibly trafficked. More than 900 police, tax and customs investigators have raided Berlin's biggest brothel. Prostitution is legal in Germany, but police charge that the 4-story brothel complex constituted a brutal and illegal system that severely exploited dependent women.
I don't know if he actually engaged in sex with underage girls or not. I can only guess based on his behavior and his many statements. Let's look at more of what Hasan has been saying. Well, here's Hasan Piker calling for the assassination of the Republican U.S. Senator from Florida, Rick Scott.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. What is his current office? What is he? He's the Richard Lynn Scott, is an American attorney, businessman, politician, Navy veteran, serving as the senior United States Senator from Florida, a seat he has held since 2019.
And Hasan is so ignorant about politics that he has to look up who Senator Rick Scott is. And he's the left's biggest political streamer. He literally spends all day talking about politics. And he didn't know who Senator Rick Scott is, though he did call for his assassination. I don't know how he has an audience. His millions of viewers, I guess, are even dumber than he is. Hasan also suggested to his massive audience that they kill Republican Senator Tom Cotton. Here, Hasan posted an image of a homemade shotgun on X over a Senator Tom Cotton post. This, by the way, is the same device an assassin used to kill Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe in 2022. And take a look at this diagram that Hasan provided to his followers of this homemade shotgun called a zip gun with the battery, a chamber for the steel pellets, the tubes forming the barrels of the gun, and the electric cord for the battery, also the triggers. This diagram shows Hasan's millions of followers how to construct such a device so they can take action against Senator Tom Cotton, Rick Scott, or other Republicans who they don't like. Also threatens to kill Republicans with his AR-15 rifle.
A little bit of meat watch for you, huh? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to come over, you're going to suck my dick dry, huh?
This is how he talks. And Charlie Kirk ended up dead from one of these people, probably from a member of Piker's audience. And these are not just isolated examples. Piker talks like this all the time on his live streams from 6 to 10 hours a day. Here he calls on his people to kill immigration law enforcement officers. He celebrates those who try to kill ICE officers.
874 Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like, that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office, and he's resigning. So I think that people are a lot more radical now. This is an unprecedented time to really get others on board, and I think this is a unique opportunity to get even Deborah's and Barbara's on board with that, like White Wymon's. And you actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean. I think that shows that there's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter of fact.
Now, why Hasan is not being prosecuted for incitement to political assassination and incitement to terrorism, I have no idea. I mean, what is FBI Director Kash Patel doing on this? Where is Attorney General Pam Bondi? What the heck are they doing with their time if they're not arresting and prosecuting this guy? This guy who's doxing his political enemies and sending his massive audience after them. He spends much of his live streams defending Hamas's attack on Israel on October 7th. He justifies the raping and murder of teenage Israeli girls by Hamas.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
He mocks and laughs about the beheading and dismemberment of Israeli babies and children by Hamas terrorists.
Carry the coffins of 4 dead Israeli hostages, 2 of them children, on stage, an offensive propaganda message blaming
Offensive propaganda message?
He howls here with laughter at the notion that freeing Israeli hostages by Hamas is important.
Her Democrat says she's undecided because of concerns about anti-Semitism. Beth?
Yes!
Hi, thank you for being here. Thank you for remembering we need to bring the hostages home. Of course. The rise of anti-Semitism and violence.
And he repeats ad nausea jokes about sending today's Jews back to Auschwitz.
Shut up. Go 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 back to Auschwitz. Remember 9/11.
Jokes again about 9/11. He calls Israeli infants illegal Israeli settlers and legitimate military targets.
And this is going to sound very radical and possibly very violent, but Palestinians have the legal ground to violently seize back their own homes from these settlers.
But this dude just called babies militants.
No, I understand. And there are baby settlers as well. But there are baby settlers as well. There are babies in the settlements.
But the babies that killed were not.
Here Hasan says he wants Jews completely driven out of society. When he refers to Zionists, he's referring to anybody who thinks that Israel has any kind of right to exist. That can include non-Jews. If you think that Israel has a right to exist, you're a Zionist. And he says that anyone who has ever even entertained a thought that maybe Israel has a right to exist should hold no position of responsibility whatsoever, not even dog catcher.
Regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a fucking rabid neo-Nazi. And you shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher as Felix was posting, if they've ever exhibited any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm just so serious about this.
He loves terrorist organizations like Hezbollah and the Houthis. Here's what he says about the Houthis, who have killed about 300,000 people in Yemen, either directly or by preventing food from getting to the people of Yemen so they starve. They mass slaughter Christians and Jews. But Hasan thinks they're awesome, thinks they're based.
And they love walking over. They love walking over like the American flag and the Israeli flag side by side. They will always like march on it. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. He's saying they do not care about the heavy missiles. Like,
the Houthis also terrorize commercial ships. They're among the worst terrorist groups out there. Here's what the Houthis do to commercial ships. Hasan says this ship was owned by Israel. No, this ship was not owned by Israel, nor would it justify the hijacking of this ship and the kidnapping of the crew. The ship's name is Galaxy Leader, and it's owned by a British corporation. The operator of the ship is a Japanese company. The ship was not going to or from Israel. The ship was on its way from Turkey to India. There were also no Israelis on the ship. The Houthis took 25 hostages from the ship, including 17 Filipinos, 2 Bulgarians, 3 Ukrainians, 2 Mexicans, and 1 Romanian. The ship has nothing to do with Israel. And the Houthis are not even primarily focused on Israel. The Houthis are essentially pirates and criminals who are primarily focused on controlling Yemen.
I have no problem with the Houthis. Yeah, because I don't. What do you mean? If you think I'm a terrorism supporter for that reason, then yeah, I'm a fucking terrorism supporter. What are you talking about? The Houthis and their militancy in the Red Sea is a perfectly moral action.
Bizarrely, Hasan compared the Houthi leader to Anne Frank.
Hasan Piker, notorious terrorist sympathizers, just compared Anne Frank to the Houthis, who are ruining my home.
Do you think he's like Anne Frank?
Absolutely. Your beloved Houthis killed my mom's best friend. Anne Frank never killed anyone. The Nazis killed her. Your beloved Houthis took over my country by force, not through democracy. Anne Frank never took over anything. She was hiding in an attic. Your beloved Houthis have been starving my people for more than 10 years.
But finally, President Trump had enough from the Houthis, so he did this to the Houthis. So the Houthi attacks on commercial ships seem to have stopped for now, but Hasan Piker just loves the Houthis. Hasan also loves Hezbollah, which is an Iran-backed terrorist organization. Here's Hasan praising the Hezbollah terrorist leader. He thinks he's awesome and based.
I
can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen. You have to remember something, okay? A lot of these dudes, you see them in their fucking fits, and you hear about, like, some of their attitudes about, like, gay people, for example, and you immediately fucking resort to Orientalist perspectives, not realizing that these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million, okay? Like, it's not a broken clock situation. No, dude. Half of these dudes literally get educated in America and in the UK. What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah, that's actually a big part of the problem. A lot of these dudes actually attend colleges in the West. Osama bin Laden attended Oxford University in England for a period in the early 1970s. He wasn't a stupid man, Osama bin Laden. He was well educated. They attend our colleges so that they can find our weaknesses. No one's saying that these people aren't highly educated and don't read books. Osama bin Laden was highly educated. He was wealthy. Adolf Hitler was also highly educated. So is Lenin. And Hasan's main platform is Twitch, which is owned by Amazon. What are you doing, Amazon? Why are you allowing this terrorist promoter, this promoter of terrorism, this inciter of murder and terrorism on your platform? I'm all for free speech, but we have laws against terrorism and incitement to murder. And the guy who runs Twitch on behalf of Amazon is the radical left Dan Clancy. And his favorite streamer is Hasan Piker. We might dig into Dan Clancy here if we have time, or I'll probably hold off and do an entire video on Dan Clancy. I think he deserves an entire video. He's a real piece of work. Hasan Piker is Dan Clancy's golden boy. When Hasan Piker called for the assassination of Senator Rick Scott, Clancy suspended Piker for 1 day. He suspended him for 1 day, and that day just happened to be Hasan Piker's day off. But when a right-leaning streamer on Twitch named Techtrone called a leftist fat, he was suspended for 30 days for that. So Piker gets a one-day suspension for calling for the assassination of Senator Rick Scott, and that day that he was suspended for was his day off. But Tectrone got suspended for 30 days for calling somebody fat. The double standard on Twitch is just insane. And Hasan Piker is still allowed on YouTube, by the way. Meanwhile, the New York Times has published multiple puff pieces on Hasan, including this big spread titled A Progressive Mind in a MAGA Body. And here's another one titled Hasan Piker is Flirting with Revolution. These articles are all framed positively. He was the new star for the Democrat Party, well, until he started abusing his dog. The New York Times tells us that he's the left's answer to Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan is not even right. He supported Bernie Sanders in 2016, and Sanders is a socialist. Rogan does seem to have soured on the left. He actually seems to be more of a centrist, not right-wing at all. But the New York Times sees Joe Rogan as right-wing. And they see Hasan Piker as their Joe Rogan. Here's the propaganda media's take on Hasan Piker.
No, not even a little bit.
This is Hasan Piker. He's a progressive who has intellectual sit-downs with Bernie and AOC and still manages to post thirst trap workout videos to his 2.8 million followers on the platform Twitch.
They think he's awesome. He has intellectual sit-downs with Bernie Sanders and AOC. And they describe Hasan Piker merely as a liberal. This guy who literally justifies the raping and killing of Israeli teenagers during October 7th, the October 7th terrorist attack on Israel, and who literally justifies the beheading and dismemberment of Israeli babies and children by the Hamas terrorists, thinks it's cool. The legacy media thinks that this guy who called for the killing of U.S. senators, who says he wants to see the blood of capitalists running in America's streets, they think he's awesome. He's based. And here's a former Washington Post writer named Taylor Lorenz telling us how good-looking he is and what a nice guy Hasan Piker is.
Oh, but Hasan's on he's just on a big level. Here's the other thing with Hasan. He's unreasonably good looking and cool and dresses cool.
Tell me about it.
But you know what I mean? Hasan would be an influencer no matter what he was saying because he is
hot,
very attractive and very cool and genuinely a good person too. I will say Hasan is actually a cool, fun, good person.
Really? He's a genuinely good person? Are you kidding me? But this is what the propaganda media thinks of Hasan. You just can't hate the media enough. It's literally impossible to hate the media enough. Hasan is 100% on board with Hamas, loves Hamas. He doesn't care at all that ever since the supposed ceasefire with Israel, that Hamas has been conducting mass executions of Palestinians daily, pretty much all day long. Now, I'm not going to show you the really grim parts of these videos. If you want to find these actual executions, you can find them on X. Again, not showing the full video here, too disturbing. I hate seeing it myself. You can see the full video on X. I could go on and on with these videos, but you get the idea. I don't even know if YouTube will allow me to show this much. Here's Hamas pulling people out of their cars and shooting them on the spot, shooting them in the back of the head. Again, I'm not showing any of this really grim stuff, but you get the picture. You can find video after video like this on X. Hasan claims he cares about the Palestinian people, but he really doesn't care about them at all. Hasan defends these executions with this post, quote, Israel's collaborators are still running amok as the Strip uses a moment of peace to recover and rebuild. That's Hasan's defense of these executions. They need to recover and rebuild, so we have to execute all these people. So Hasan doesn't care at all about the well-being of the Palestinian people. He's just pro-terrorist. He always defends the terrorist, doesn't care at all about the atrocities terrorists commit against the Muslim people. And after all, it's primarily the Muslim people who are the victims of these terrorist organizations. Where are all these humanitarians who are accusing Israel of genocide for trying to get their hostages back from Hamas? Hamas who murdered 1,200 Israelis on October 7th, many of whom were just attending a music festival. Hasan does not hide his support for Hamas and for terrorism. He cheers it on. He literally says he's pro-terrorism. Says he doesn't see anything wrong with that.
People are like, oh, you're a fucking terrorism supporter. Hey, who cares, right? Who cares? And there are still people going, you support Hamas, so you do support terrorists. I don't know what's wrong about that. I don't know what's wrong about that.
And Gavin Newsom, the Democrat governor of California, just praised Hasan, calling him impressive beyond words. Governor Newsom says, quote, I'm very impressed with a lot of what he's done and what he says, end quote.
Gavin Newsom just called you impressive beyond words? He's glazing me? Oh, God. Oh, no. What have I done? I will have Gavin on the stream for sure.
Would you go on Hasan's stream? Do you know about Hasan?
He's impressive beyond words.
Yeah.
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get you in touch.
I'm very, very impressed by a lot of what he has done and say what he says on not everything I agree, but a lot of things. It's impressive. Very.
Tell Connor to ask Newsom if he knows you. The answer to that question is absolutely. Of course he knows who I am.
So this is where the Democrat Party is today. They cater to their radical base, their most extreme base. They know that's where the gravity in the party is. Today's Democrat Party has mainstreamed violence, as we saw with the assassination of Charlie Kirk and all the celebrations by Democrats about the killing of Charlie Kirk. Democrats believe, the left believes, that when they engage in violence, that's just freedom of expression. But when Charlie Kirk tries to have just a civilized discussion, well, his ideas are violence. That's how warped and sick today's Democrat Party has become, and the propaganda news. They think conservative ideas, common sense conservative ideas, are violence, but they think their violence is free speech. Now, a liberal podcaster by the name of Ethan Klein, pretty big podcaster, tried to have a podcast with Hasan, tried to co-host a regular podcast with Hasan. Now, Ethan is pro-Israel, but he thought maybe dialogue with Hasan would be good, would be healthy. And Ethan is married to an Israeli named Hila. Ethan is also critical of Israel. He's on the liberal side. He thinks that Israel went too far in Gaza in its effort to destroy Hamas. He believes that the Palestinians should have a country. So he thought it might be at least possible to have a conversation, a civilized conversation with Hasan. He was wrong. Here's Ethan Klein trying to at least get Hasan to listen to the testimony of an Israeli female rape victim of Hamas.
You're doing it right now.
What do you mean,
I know
kind
exactly
of?
what he was
Ethan,
planning to
Ethan,
do.
You literally
and yet I couldn't do
featured-
anything to prevent
Wait, pause it for a second.
No.
I was
Listen to what she has
utterly
to say,
helpless.
Hassan.
When the
Ethan,
assault
I
was
don't
over-
Hassan, don't
disagree with
silence
this.
her. Let
You
her fucking
literally
talk.
I wasn't even allowed
No,
to.
because you're acting like this never happened, that it's
You're
exaggerated,
mentioning
that everybody's
my
lying,
acknowledgement
that
in the
Israelis
video
are just
that you
inherently
played.
evil monsters that are responsible for everything bad that's
Ethan,
ever happened.
you
Listen to her.
acknowledged-
cry
Ethan,
or to be
you
sad.
Listen to
know.
her words.
I had no one
Ethan-
to comfort me and was forced to act nice
Listen to
the
my
person who had just
words.
sexually
Listen to this
assaulted
victim.
me
Show her
in the
some
most
respect, Hassan.
horrifying way.
Oh, it's so gross.
Not
You're doing it right now.
Hasan refused to listen to her because he thinks rape is just fine when it comes to Israeli women. He doesn't see Israeli women as human. And then Ethan and Hasan parted ways permanently when Hasan called Ethan's wife, Hila, a terrorist. Hasan called Ethan's wife a terrorist because she's Israeli.
I don't like terrorism, and I don't like terrorists.
Yes, you do. You're married to one, by your own admission.
Hasan's rationale that she's a terrorist is because she's a member of the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. Never mind that pretty much every able-bodied Israeli citizen is part of the Israeli military in some capacity, and so is part of the IDF. So by Hasan's definition, by his reasoning, every Israeli, pretty much every Israeli, is a terrorist. They're terrorists just by existing. Here's what Hasan called Hila Klein, called her a, quote, literal war criminal terrorist, Hila Klein, the baby terrorizer, Hila Klein, end quote. The baby terrorizer.
Found out he couldn't get sick.
Seen this yet.
What's new?
Oh my God! It says literal war criminal terrorist Hila Klein, the baby terrorizer Hila Klein.
This happened. March 17. It happened 4 days ago.
I was excited he finally remembered my name, but then
Did he forget?
wow.
What's her name?
What is happening, dude?
So that's what happens when you try to have a civilized discussion with somebody like Hasan. It's impossible. He calls your wife a terrorist, a baby terrorizer, and a valid military target. Of course, Hassan thinks that anyone who doesn't agree with him is a valid target for death. And the likely mayor of New York City, the Islamo-communist Zoran Mamdani, who wants to defund the police, groveled for Hassan's endorsement and spent the entire day with Hassan in New York City. Spent 3 hours on Hassan's live stream because he wanted to rally Hassan's millions of radical left America hating viewers to support Mamdani's campaign.
That's perfect. Okay, hold on.
Best friends.
People want to take
Remember the?
Yeah, I do. Friendship ended.
No, we're not doing that.
No. You have to hold hands. You have to hold hands.
The friendship ended. You don't remember that?
You guys
Oh yeah.
Call for me. I'm gonna try this. Okay, ready? Yeah, friendship ended. I think that's the move. Perfect. Okay,
All right.
Hassan.
You have a third one, or?
I think
No,
Karen.
sorry, I only have two. I just can't
Good.
count.
Okay.
My bad.
All right. Thank you. This was amazing. Seriously.
So Hassan, before this whole dog abuse stuff, was considered mainstream by the New York Times and the propaganda news and the Democrat Party. But here's the good news. It appears that Hassan's audience of millions is now turned against him when it came to light that he is a dog abuser and that he has been abusing his dogs for years. So here's what's happening on that front. Hasan has been coming under attack for constantly calling for violence, the killing of U.S. senators, the killing of police officers, justifying the beheading of Israeli babies, the raping and killing of Israeli girls, and saying America deserved the 9/11 attack. So to try to soften his image and show that he's a good guy, he decided he needed a dog. He needed a dog in camera view the entire time so that people could see that he loves dogs. Now, his live streams are 6 to 10 hours, so his dog, Kaya, has to sit there, has to be in the frame, not moving, never leaving the frame, never stretching her legs the entire time. And then when Kaya, on that fateful day, on that fateful stream, got up and started to walk around, and then she suddenly yelped and went back to her designated spot, people said, wait, that yelp had to have been produced by an electric shock collar.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop.
And so then people immediately noticed that Hasan had just reached for something right before Kaya, the dog, screamed out in pain before her yelp and then went back to her spot. And that could have only been produced by an electric dog collar. Let's watch this again. We see Hasan reach. Kaya yelps, then returns to her spot.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby.
And Hasan says, you're being such a baby. But he had just electric shocked her. Then he tries to cover up by saying that she's incredibly spoiled from his mom.
It's just, you're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
How is she spoiled? She got up, tried to stretch her legs, might have wanted to walk around a bit after being sitting there, after being in that same spot for hours and hours and hours. So the dog wanted to get up, walk around a bit. How is that spoiled?
No, she doesn't want to come over here to see what's up. She just wants to fucking roam the house because she got to roam the house when I was gone.
Oh, horrors. The dog wants to roam the house. That's just outrageous. A dog would want to roam around.
And she needs to literally have the same structured, regimented.
Same structure, regimented. So this means the dog can't move from this same location for 6 to 10 hours while Hasan live streams. And you can see how fearful Kaya is sitting there. She's afraid to even move. Now, at first, Hasan denied that he was doing this, denied that he was using an electric shock collar on his dog. And you can see Hasan reading his comments, and he knows he's screwed. He reads a comment that says, this clip just went to Trump's desk. So he knows he's screwed. He knows that this is about to be worldwide news.
I think this clip went to Trump's big baby desk immediately. I hate everything. I hate everything.
So Hasan suspects he's cooked right here. He sees the avalanche of negative feedback coming in from his viewers. So yeah, he knows it's bad. The next day, Hasan tries to quell the outrage from his audience, from his viewers, from his followers by showing the dog collar that Kaya wears. And he told us that the collar does vibrate. He admits that it vibrates, he says, but it does not electric shock the dog.
This is the one that people are talking about. Okay, this is the one. This is the one that they saw. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy? That's it. Good?
And this was a huge mistake by Hasan because everyone could see this device. He held it up to the camera. It was in clear view. And everyone could zoom in and see that it was an electric dog collar.
Are you happy?
And Hasan continued to deny that he was zapping Kaya with an electric dog collar. And people started posting clips like this one from Tektrone.
But the third group of people are the ones who are like, look at this clip, look at that clip, look at this clip. Like, it's obvious he's moving his arms around. Like, he's fucking constantly in a state of zapping. And they've moved away from the initial conversation, which was that, like, she didn't even have that collar on to begin with. Kaya, please. And go back. Just stop. Jesus Christ. What are you doing? And the only reason why I showed the collar was because people were clipping other instances.
And this clip from Tektrone got 1.3 million views. Hasan was basically still treating his audience like brainwashed morons, thinking they would continue to believe anything he tells them. Now his audience was perfectly fine with Hamas terrorists attacking a music festival in Israel, raping, torturing, and killing teenagers, Israeli girls, and beheading Israeli babies. But Hasan's treatment of his dog, well, that was a bridge too far. The audience backlash was enormous. Internet sleuths pulled up old clips of Hasan talking about the fact that he had bought electric dog collars before.
My old roommate wanted to use a shock collar for fish and his dogs. For fish and his dogs barking. I couldn't do it. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
And here Hasan hilariously pleads with his audience to move on from dog collar gate.
Listen, I don't know what else to say about this stuff. I don't know. It's just, please. Like, I need to do my job. Okay. There are a lot of adults in here, and there are a lot of young people in here as well that want to hear about the news. Okay. They want to hear about what's going on. Defending your favorite streamers, not advocacy or organizing. Please refocus, chatters. It's just, it's utterly irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. I know it sounds like it's the most consequential thing that's ever happened in the history of mankind, and people are really dragging it over and over again. But please, for the love of God, like, it's going to be all right. Okay. You know the truth. It doesn't matter. Like, what do you want me to do? At this stage, we have entered a new era on the internet. I've been an active watcher now, and I'm honestly disgusted. I've honestly been watching you for a while, and you kind of disappointed me. What do you mean? I got to stop reading this stuff. People like to be a part of something larger. People like to be a part of a larger movement, okay? People like to be a part of a larger movement, and very clearly this is like a big thing that all the normies have gotten on board with. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. There's not really anything I can do about it other than just keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully people will realize that there's no accuracy or veracity to the claims being made.
Now, he was still denying that he was using an electric shock dog collar, but even if he was saying, he was arguing, professional dog trainers use these electric dog collars all the time. That's what he says.
Like, they don't realize that even the e-collars that do shock are unironically used to train fucking like service dogs and shit. And not only that, but also in an effort to train them, a lot of the literally the disability dogs, the service dogs get fucking e-collar trained with like what you would call a shock collar. What did Vanilla May say? Vanilla May said, "Hi, Kaya." Yeah, it's so even like the most maximalist position that people think happened is not even a remotely controversial incident. It's just like, I was not even angry at Kaya. I was just fucking angry at the situation of my internet being cut out, and I just had a fucking shitty moment. It is what it is. You know? It was something that I also recognized as well. It was just awful. They are wrong. The leading animal behavior organizations oppose them. You guys are spreading misinformation right now.
And it is true that these electric shock dog collars are used sometimes by professional dog trainers in special situations, but they have to be used in the right way and very sparingly, and not to constantly torture and terrify the dog. Military dogs, maybe bomb-sniffing dogs, special circumstance type training might require an electric dog collar, not for normal dog training purposes, not for a house dog. And such a collar, an electric dog collar, has to be used in the right way. And Hasan was not using this electric shock dog collar in the right way at all.
I was not even angry at Kai. I was just fucking angry at the situation of my internet being cut out, and I just had a fucking shitty moment. It is what it is. You know? It was something that I also recognized as well. It was just awful.
And he was still denying he was using this electric dog collar for the purpose of making sure that Kaya, the dog, would sit still, wouldn't move for 6 to 10 hours during his live stream, would not move out of the frame. But everyone could see the dog collar. It was in plain view. Furthermore, everyone could just look up the dog collar.
Hold on. What is that? Bang, 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 bang. So what is that? The canine handler. I don't know. They need to get better names of this shit. Yo, the handler. Come on, bro. Tactical collar. Jesus. So which model is that? Is that the one you linked earlier? Is that confirmed? 280 dog?
The maker of this dog collar is Dogtra at dogtra.com. Here's the website. And the model of dog collar that he's using is the 280X1 dog unit, the canine handler, the so-called canine handler. And the cost of this product is $234.99. And people sent screenshots of the device to the company. And the company confirmed that, yep, this is an electric shock dog collar. And the company also said that Hasan is not using it correctly. So this was the end for Hasan Piker with his audience. Hasan's dog shock lie is obvious, clear, and proven. Then the internet got to work even more against Hasan. And the lesson here is, don't lie to your audience. They will find you out.
But that 100% is a shock collar, as a fact.
And people started pulling up old streams showing evidence of Hasan's abuse of dogs, not just of Kaya, but of other dogs. And here, one of his guests points out that the dog collar that Hasan was using on Kaya is too tight.
I love her. I think her collar's too tight.
Well, it's here we can.
You have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
She's like, it's she has a lot of neck meat.
And Hasan dismisses this concern, saying, it's just a lot of neck meat, nothing to be concerned about. And then people just found many examples of Hasan abusing animals, abusing dogs in the past, and seeming to get pleasure out of abusing dogs. For example, here he abuses Kaya when she's a puppy by putting her in a confined space with another much bigger dog and a more aggressive dog, and apparently hoping for a dog fight. And as you can see here, Kaya is just a puppy. She's much smaller than this other dog.
I don't know if putting them in a confined space like this together is a good idea, but we're about to see very quickly. She will most likely recognize, she will very quickly learn that that's probably a mistake. Because if she keeps pushing Fiona, Fiona is going to bite. Oh, there we go. Good job, Fiona. You fucking tell her. One thing I will tell you, I've seen her. Kaya is really funny when she's scared. Being scared, but it gives me anxiety. Maybe it's me. No, I want her to bite her. What do you mean? That they had to chop it. I know Fiona wants out. She's not getting out, though. Fiona snaps at her. She'll just go, ah, 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 and like run away. Run away like a fucking goofball crying. It's the funniest thing on the fucking planet. Oh, Fiona, stay in there. She needs to learn. See? See? She wants out. See?
The wind, children.
Did you see that? I want you guys to see what happens when she actually gets scared. It's so fucking funny.
And Hasan says, quote, I don't give a shit if they bite Kaya. It's hilarious when she's afraid, end quote. So he's getting enjoyment out of frightening this puppy. Now imagine how he treats his dogs when he's not broadcasting it to millions of people. And Hasan begins to unravel when a longtime subscriber, a 40-month subscriber, calls him out for using his dog Kaya as a prop.
A lot of people are totally on board with the mania. It is what it is. This is the type of shit. This is the type of shit that people will lean into, and then later, a couple months down the line, they'll be like, "Why are there no like actual cool leftist content creators?" I don't know, man. Because the fucking right just dominates discourse all the goddamn time and can like belittle and disparage and smear anyone and everyone that's like ostensibly on the leftist position with a multitude of different ridiculous fabrications, and a lot of you dumb fucks go along with it without actually going, let me think critically about the situation. Let me think critically about the situation about a dog that's like on camera 24/7. Motherfuckers are out there being like, he was laughing at Kaya as a puppy being abused by Fiona, and people believe it. You know what I mean? That's it. If you have no critical thinking capacity and you assume that the only way to do politics is a politics of purity, and anything that even like smells remotely in the direction of controversy, you automatically lean into, yeah, you're not going to have anybody. That's it.
And he actually sort of does have a point here, because eventually the left always eats its own. It is impossible to be far enough to the left, for the radical left, but even for the moderate left, because the moderate left always becomes more and more radical over time, because they're always responding to the radicals. A moderate liberal cannot resist pressure from the radical left. So the moderate liberal becomes more and more left over time. There is no place too far to the left for the left. It's never good when you're lecturing your subscribers, your 40-month subscribers.
There's a reason why there aren't that many like left figures out there, because when there are left figures out there, they get fucking destroyed. Then be better yourself. Maybe have a dog and it not be a part of your persona if you don't want to fucking question when you're evasive. You're no different than the GOP. You're a 40-month subscriber and you think I'm like the grand old party because I won't just sit there and be like, you guys are right. I'm actually abusive to my dog. This is unironically what I was talking about. Like, please exercise a little bit of critical thinking. Just a little bit. Just for like a second. And I think you will realize that maybe you're not behaving correctly about this. Because if you're a 40-month subscriber, you've been here long enough that you know this is ridiculous.
Then more videos surfaced, videos of Hasan abusing a previous dog that he owned, a dog by the name of Fish. I don't know why you would name a dog Fish, but that was this dog's name.
Stay. If you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? In front of everyone. Motherfucker, come here.
Motherfucker, come here.
And here Hasan yanks Fish by the tail with such force that he lifts his dog off the ground. Also says, quote, if you run right now, I'll effing kill you. I'll actually kill you, MFer, end quote. Now, if you pull a dog hard by the tail, it can do permanent damage to the dog. According to Google, quote, pulling a dog's tail hard can cause permanent damage, including fractures, nerve damage leading to incontinence or chronic pain, and in severe cases, the need for surgical amputation. Symptoms to watch for include a limp or oddly bent tail, swelling, vocalization of pain, excessive chewing, and difficulty urinating or defecating. Any such signs warrant immediate veterinary attention, end quote, according to Google. Then we have this video that shows Fish the dog's neck actually bleeding.
Watch the Fish.
Here's Fish's neck bleeding. How hard would you have to yank on the collar to cause that? To slice through all the fur and whatnot? Are there spikes inside this dog collar? Maybe that's where the electric shock prongs are. And here's some of the internet reaction to Hasan's use of the electric shock dog collar.
A streamer used a shock collar on his dog.
What happened?
Streamer Hasan Piker got caught using a shock collar on his dog during his Twitch stream. His dog was in the background on the treadmill, and then Hasan started yelling at the dog the second the dog moved. Then Hasan reached for something, and the dog screamed and went back to his spot on the treadmill. He apparently shocks him every time he moves.
Why would he keep a shock collar on a house dog?
People were saying the dog is in every stream, and they were wondering how the dog always stays in a perfect spot. And they noticed every time he reaches, the dog screams. So they're saying that he's using the dog for views. And he keeps the dog in the background so that people will watch his streams longer.
He's using the dog to get views on his streams, and he's shocking him to stay in place?
Yeah! And now people are calling animal abuse hotlines and reporting him. Then more clips of him abusing his dog started to come up. Like when someone came in his room and said, hey, your dog collar's on way too tight. I can't even fit my finger between it. And then another clip where he said he doesn't care about a dog's health issues, saying it's just a dog.
Anybody that causes harm to an animal for views should not have one.
How else is he supposed to train his dog for his live stream? He needs the views.
I think a better way to train your dog is to use treat.
I wonder if Taylor Lorenz, that Washington Post writer, that former Washington Post writer, still thinks that Hasan Piker is a really good guy, a really nice person, a soft heart.
Genuinely a good person, too, I will say. Like, Hasan is actually a cool, fun, good person.
And here he's considering what kind of breed of dog he should buy. Should it be this Frenchie dog, which apparently tends towards some genetic problems that cause this type of dog to not be able to breathe well?
It's just such a lib ass, like, oh, dude, please don't get a Frenchie. I just wrote a Vox article talking about how problematic they are. Like, I don't give a fuck. I know they have breathing problems. I know they're incredibly fucking inbred. I don't give a shit. I know. I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. This is a dog.
So here he tells us he doesn't care if the dog can't breathe and is in pain. He doesn't care about that. Wouldn't care about getting treatment for the dog to help the dog breathe better. And here Hasan tells us that dogs are merely slaves for human consumption.
You have an animal that you are taking care of. You have a literal fucking slave. And not just like a slave, but you have a literal fucking slave that you shackle, okay, every fucking day, pull from their neck and take them wherever the fuck you want to take them to. And on top of that, you fucking neuter your slave. So your slave can't have more slaves. And you have the slave for just personal consumption, just like making yourself feel better.
Well, this clip sure gives more meaning to the clips that I showed you earlier.
Oh, you know what? Fucking dogs is actually good, and it's actually great. I want to fuck dogs. My dog likes to get fucked.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
My dog
I'm out of control.
is a big fan of getting fucked. Guys, I love sex, okay? I fucking love sex, dude. And I think it's one of the best things you can do on this planet. And I love to do it with humans, dude. Nothing substitutes, dude.
Yikes. Now remember, Hasan is the nephew of Cenk Uygur or Cenk Uygur or whatever his name is. Also a leftist podcaster who openly defends bestiality, sex with animals.
I believe that if I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are giving, you are pleasuring the animal. You see what I'm saying?
Both Cenk or Shank or Uyghur or Uyghur, whatever his name is, and Hasan are immigrants from Turkey. Bestiality is legal in Turkey. I assume because the people there like having sex with dogs, goats, horses, cows, and whatnot. Chickens. And this is the culture that we're allowing into America. Now Hasan has his big meltdown, which is fun to watch. His audience has turned against him pretty much 100% by this point, including his longtime subscribers.
I can't stand any of you dumb fucks in this goddamn chat. Oh my fucking God, I hate the left. I hate liberalism. I hate everything that's going on every single fucking day of the goddamn week. I hate my life. I hate fucking streaming. I hate socialism. I hate every single fucking person who thinks that the peak of activism is just being the most annoying, holier than thou, the most ultimately woke leftist. It's just, you did it. You did it. You have unlocked the fucking nihilism within me, okay? I am black-pilled. Nothing will ever get better. We are never going to make it out. We can't even have a normal fucking non-hostile goddamn conversation on any of these issues. Everybody just simply wants to fucking chirp into the wind because they have no power and they recognize their utter powerlessness in the face of unjustifiable constructs that we fucking exist under. And the best possible fucking thing you can do is just be goddamn annoying, okay? Oh, God. And I get fucking yelled at by a bunch of screenager iPad babies who are 38 years old who think that the most like radical socialist position is to constantly chirp in a fucking Twitch streamer's chat and hyper scrutinize everything and then like refuse to understand like broader points. Everything that we do here is so bad. Is so fucking bad.
That's how bad the comments are coming at him in his stream. Now, I don't actually think that Hasan is going to quit. He's too addicted to this. Now, here's something else I want to show you about Hasan. He's actually not a progressive or some kind of American-style liberal or leftist at all. Now, to show you this, let's see how he reacts to a trans person who runs up to shake his hand at a No Kings protest. Hasan is here wearing a bulletproof vest, and he puts the word press on his vest. Hasan obviously is not press. But I guess if you have the word press on your bulletproof vest, this gives you certain privileges. And a lot of people notice that Hasan is wearing a bulletproof vest, but his dog, Kaya, is not. So I guess she doesn't need protection. And why is he bringing his dog to a No Kings protest, which could easily turn into a riot, per the track record of Democrat protests in the past? But that's not the point of this clip. This trans person tells Hasan what a big fan he or she is of Hasan.
Hi.
I just wanted to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My hero, for sure.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Hasan is noticeably uncomfortable talking with this trans person, even though he's supposed to be this big progressive, this big leftist liberal, this big wokester. But when the trans person leaves, a lot of people notice that Hasan wipes his hand on his shirt, on his clothing. He's disgusted by this trans person. That's because Hasan is not actually progressive. He's not really a liberal, not a leftist. He's not woke at all. He's a radical Islamist who hates Western civilization, wants to destroy Western civilization. What he loves is Hamas and Islamic terrorists. What he loves is Osama bin Laden. He loves the 9/11 attack. I mean, if an LGBTQ type enters Gaza, Iran, or Afghanistan under the Taliban, or one of those places that's being governed by radical Islam, they're going to be thrown off buildings. The only thing that Hasan has in common with the leftists, with American leftists and liberals and wokesters, is that they all want to destroy Western civilization. They all hate America for different reasons. That's all Hasan has in common with the American left. He's happy to make temporary alliance with the American left and with liberals and with the wokesters in order to destroy America and destroy Western civilization. But this alliance he has with the Democrat Party, with the liberals and with the left, is temporary. For more evidence of this, check out Hasan's reaction to the women on The View who are complaining about how women are treated in Iran.
The same. No, it's not. The year 2025 in the United States is nothing like if I step foot wearing this outfit in Toronto. Killed for I'm sorry. What, they wear like listen, no, I can't have my hair showing. I can't wear a skirt. I can't have my arms out. I'm telling you, as I literally.
Yeah, I can't wear my skirt in Tehran. I can't eat Kubi Day. Whoopee, don't you understand? I can't wear bikini to the beach.
Hasan mocks the women of The View for complaining about how women are treated in Iran. He mocks the idea that a woman might want to go to the beach in a bikini, mocks the idea that a woman might want to wear a skirt. And here Hasan is at a table with some LGBTQers who ask Hasan what his favorite flag is.
Let's talk about our favorite flags.
Oh, like overall, what my
Yeah.
favorite flag?
Yeah.
Hezbollah. Look it up.
Oh.
I'm not even kidding. It's actually a dope flag. It's this is
You know what? I'm gonna be brave.
Come on.
My favorite flag.
It's got an AK on it and a fucking hand holding it up. Wow.
Son.
Or
We might have to cut this.
We're behind the paywall. It's fine.
They expect him to say the LGBTQ flag because the LGBTQ flag is sitting right there on the table. So he's expected to say that flag, right? But no, he doesn't say the LGBTQ flag. He says his favorite flag is the Hezbollah flag. Hasan is radical Islam, not radical left. He's just posing as radical left. His goal is destruction of America and destruction of Western civilization. His alliance with the progressive left in America is just temporary. He'll kill all of them too if Islam takes over. And if you're radical Islamic, you certainly don't care about your dog. That's a liberal concern, a liberal sentiment, a Western concern. If you're Hasan, you laugh at the pain that your dog is going through. You laugh at the pain that you're inflicting on others. So the left in America has allied itself with radical Islam because both have the same goal, the destruction of Western civilization. But that's the only goal that they have in common. Well, that's all I have for you for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I get a lot of ideas from reading your comments, so be sure to comment. Also, be sure to hit the notifications button. That's how we overcome suppression by the algorithm, because the suppression is real. Without notifications, that is, unless you hit the notifications button, YouTube might never again remind you in your feed that I've put out another video. So you might never see another video again from me if you don't hit that notifications button. Hope to see you back here next time.